Want to speak real English from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at EnglishClass101.com.
Yeah, vamos a la playa. Now we're going to the beach. Hi everybody, welcome back to Top Words. My name is Alicia, and today we're going to be talking about 20 travel phrases that you should know. So let's go. Do you have any recommendations? The first phrase is, do you have any recommendations? This is great to use when you get to a restaurant where you don't know what the food is, you don't know anything about the local cuisine, or you're just feeling a little bit adventurous. You can ask the waitstaff, do you have any recommendations? How much is this? How much is this? This is useful when you're out shopping or when you're in a restaurant and the price is not clearly marked or something is not clear to you. So you can ask, how much is this? Usually when you point to something, I would recommend like pointing to the menu or pointing to an item. How much is this? I'd like this. You can point to something and say, I'd like this. If you want to say, I'd like one, for example, I don't know, you're getting beer. I'd like one of these. If, however, you're in a situation where you can't point, you can say, I'd like 10 of the blah, blah, blah. I'd like 10 of the blue t-shirts, please. Can I try this on? Is useful when you're shopping for clothes. So you find something that you'd like to try, just ask the staff, can I try this on? You can just say, I want to try this on, if you like. Do you speak English? You might get asked this phrase. So you should say, if you're watching this video, you should probably say yes, or you can say yes, a little, if you're not feeling very confident. If you're watching this video and you're understanding this part and you say no, then that's a little strange. So, I have a reservation. Usually the staff will greet you and you can say, I have a reservation. Hello, I have a reservation. It's at 7 o'clock. The name is Alicia. Usually we say the name is, or it's under, meaning the reservation is under my name, or it's for name, or it's in name. Water, please. Depending on which country you're from, water may or may not automatically be brought to your table when you're at a restaurant. If you would like more water, however, you can say, water, please. To make it a little more polite, I would wave at the waitstaff and say, could I please have some more water? Do you take credit cards? Do you take credit cards? In case you're not sure if the shop that you're in will accept credit cards or debit cards, you can ask them, do you take credit cards? So it doesn't mean, do you take, meaning, are you going to take my card? But this take means, do you accept credit cards? This isn't what I ordered. So if you're at a restaurant, you order steak and you get lobster instead. You can look at it and go, ah, this isn't what I ordered. Be careful though. Say this politely. If you look at the waitstaff and you say, this isn't what I ordered, they're gonna be like, I don't know, just be a nice customer. Excuse me, but I don't think this is what I ordered, or this isn't what I ordered. Can you please check? Could we have the menu, please? If for some reason you don't receive a menu when you come to the table, you can, again, just wave at a member of the staff and say, could we have the menu, please? Could you give me a discount? Could you give me a discount means I would like a cheaper price, essentially. So it depends on which country you're in. If haggling or bargaining, meaning talking to the seller to try to reduce the price. My family didn't bargain, we didn't haggle, so I don't haggle. It depends on you and your culture. But just be aware of the culture that you're in and the place that you're in before you ask this question. Do you have any vegetarian dishes? This is useful. Some people have specific eating requirements or eating needs, maybe food allergies, for example. You can replace vegetarian with the specific dietary requirement that you have. Do you have any vegan dishes? Do you have any gluten-free dishes? Do you have any low-fat dishes? Do you have any low-carb dishes? Do you have any fish-free dishes? Do you have any... Could you take a picture of me, please? If you are in a location where you would like to take a picture, but you don't want to do a selfie, or you don't have a selfie stick, or whatever, you want someone else to take a picture of you, a stranger that you don't know, you can ask them, could you take a picture of me, please? Or, excuse me, would you mind taking a picture of me, please? I'm allergic to blah, blah, blah. If you have a food allergy or even an allergy to a medicine, this is the phrase you can use to explain that. I'm allergic to wheat, or I can't eat wheat, for example. Is the Wi-Fi free? Meaning, can I use the Wi-Fi free of charge? Keep in mind, some places have a password that you have to ask the staff for. So you can say, is the Wi-Fi free? If they say yes, you can then follow that up with, can I have the password? I'd like to have a non-smoking seat, please. So when you go to a restaurant, you have an option between smoking and non-smoking sections. The staff will say smoking or non-smoking. You can say, I'd like to have a non-smoking seat, please. Quite honestly though, the most natural response is just to say non-smoking. Could I get a map? Maybe it's a map of the subway system for the city that you're in, or maybe it's a map of the area around your hotel. You could say, could I have a map as well? Could I have the check? You're finished at your cafe, you're finished at the restaurant, and it's time to leave, it's time to pay. So you say to the waitstaff, excuse me, could I have the check? Another more common expression perhaps is, excuse me, check please. You might also hear bill. Excuse me, can I have the bill? Where is the bathroom? Very important question. If you're traveling in America, we don't really use the word toilet or washroom very much. We use bathroom or restroom to talk about toilet facilities. Excuse me, can you tell me where the bathroom is? Or excuse me, I'm looking for the bathroom, or I'm looking for the restroom. Is this the train for blah, blah, blah? Or is this the train that goes to blah, blah, blah? To confirm with someone that I'm indeed on the correct train line. If I say, is this the train bound for San Francisco? You can use that to check if you're correct. So that's the end. Those are 20 travel phrases that you can use when you're traveling in an English-speaking country. Give them a try. I hope that they go well for you. Of course, there are many different variations on these themes, so be sure to experiment a little bit. Thanks very much for watching this episode of Top Words, and we will see you again soon. Bye! The things that I do before I travel to a country where I cannot speak the language, I actually learned numbers. Okay, Fiend. Hi everybody, welcome back to Top Words. My name is Alicia, and today we're going to be talking about the top 10 ways to prepare for travel. So let's go. Choose your destination. The first step is to choose your destination. Destination is the place you want to go. So of course, choose your destination to begin your travels. In a sentence, if you choose your destination based only on price, you might be disappointed. Buy a guidebook. The next expression is buy a guidebook, or maybe download a guidebook at this point. Buy a guidebook. So once you have chosen your destination, you can buy a guidebook for your destination, which will give you tips about what to do there. In a sentence, I bought my guidebook on the internet and it was great. You can buy a guidebook at a used bookstore for less. Save money. Phrase for travel is save money. So once you have chosen your destination and bought a guidebook, you need to save money if you haven't saved money already. So travel can be expensive. You need to save money for your actual transportation as well as for the things you plan to do in your destination. So in a sentence, I'm trying to save money for a trip to Europe next year. Saving money is hard, but it's worth it when you're on the trip. Book a flight. The next step is to book a flight. So you've saved your money, you've chosen your destination, you've bought the guidebook, now you need to book your flight. So to book means to reserve. It's the same as in like book a restaurant, for example, book a hotel, book a flight. So in a sentence, I booked my flight for my vacation last week. Research the costs. Research the costs. Well, I hope you do this before you book your flight, but you research the costs of where you're going to go. How much does it cost to eat there? How much does transportation cost there? How much are sightseeing attractions going to cost there? Those kinds of things. So you need to research the costs for your trip. In a sentence, I researched the costs for my upcoming vacation in Europe and it seems pretty reasonable. Request vacation time. The next step is to request vacation time, or to request time off, or to ask for time off. So at your job, if you need to take time away from your job to go traveling somewhere, you need to request vacation time. In a sentence, I'm going to request vacation time next week and I feel a little bit nervous. Book accommodations. The next expression is book accommodations, or just book a hotel, or book a hostel, something like that. Book an Airbnb as well is fine. So this means to reserve the place you are going to stay in your destination. Let's see. In a sentence, I booked my hotel on the internet. Obtain an international driving license. The next one, for some of you, perhaps if you really want to do all of the things, you can obtain an international driving license. So maybe if you really, really, really want to be able to drive a car in your destination, you can get a driver's license, permission to drive a car in the country of your destination. So in a sentence, I'm taking the test for my international driver's license next week. I hope I pass. Pack. The next one is the verb pack. So to pack. Pack means to put things in a suitcase or to put things in a box. This motion of putting things in something else for the purpose of taking them elsewhere is packing. We do it when we move to a new house or when we travel. In a sentence, I need to pack for my trip next week. Get a visa. The next expression is get a visa. So in some countries, you need to get a visa before you go to the country. Even if you're just there as a tourist, you need to get a visa, special permission to be in that country. Sometimes you have to pay money for it, so you need to research this before you travel. In a sentence, I got my visa when I arrived in Australia. All right, so those are 10 phrases that you can use as you prepare to travel. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope that you can use these the next time you plan to travel somewhere. Thanks very much for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and check us out at EnglishClass101.com for more fun stuff. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you again soon. Bye!
Hi everyone, my name is Bridget and welcome to today's lesson. The topic for this lesson is Top 10 Must-Know Phrases for the Restaurant. Let's get started. A table for 3, please. A table for 3, please. You tell them the number of people that you are total so that the host can bring you to an appropriate table. A table for 2, please. A table for 5, please. Could I please see a menu? Could I please see a menu? Usually menus are given to you as soon as you sit down at your table. But if that's not the case and you need to ask, this is a polite way to do it. Could I please see a menu? I'd like to try this dish. I'd like to try this dish. When looking at a menu, hopefully you'll find something you want to eat. I'd like to try this dish. Could you leave out the onions? Could you leave out the onions? If there's an ingredient in the dish that you're ordering that you don't want, you can always ask the waiter if it could be prepared without that ingredient. So for example, I might say, could I get the burger but with no cheese? Could you pass the salt? Could you pass the salt? When you're at a restaurant, especially if you're at a big table with a lot of people, you might not always be able to reach things. So you would ask, could you pass me the salt? Could you pass me the ketchup? Could you pass me another napkin? Waiter! Waiter! A waiter is someone who takes your order and brings you food. In America and in many other Western countries, it's more polite to call a waiter to your table by simply saying, "Excuse me?" Or if you see another waiter walking by, but it's not your waiter, you can always say, "Excuse me, if you see our waiter, could you please let them know to come to our table?" Is there any dairy in this dish? Is there any dairy in this dish? This is something you would say if you have a dairy allergy, a dairy intolerance, or you just don't like dairy. You're asking the waiter about the ingredients in a particular dish. I do this all the time. Is there any cheese in this? No? Okay. And if there is an ingredient that you don't want, for example, onions, you could say, are there any onions in this? And the waiter might say yes. And if you don't want it, you could always request, could you leave out the onions? Could you prepare it without the onions, please? Can we get separate checks? Can we get separate checks? This is actually something that's very common, especially in America. If you might go out with a group of friends, or even if you're on a date, sometimes you might want to get separate checks, pay for your own things. That way, you can all pay separately just for what you yourself ordered, and you won't have to worry about owing each other money or calculating off a big, huge bill. Are there any specials today? Are there any specials today? A special at a restaurant is a dish that isn't usually on the menu. It's something that's special, but it's a special that the chef is offering that day or that week or that month. So sometimes if you don't see what the specials are, you'd ask your waiter, "Excuse me, are there any specials today? Could we have the bill, please? Could we have the bill, please?" This is how you request that the check or the bill comes to your table. Could we get the check, please? Could we get the bill, please? You're asking this to your waiter, who will then bring you the check and you can pay. And that brings us to the end of today's lesson. If you guys enjoyed this lesson, please don't forget to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. And don't forget to go to EnglishClass101.com to learn more English.
Hi everybody, welcome back to Top Words. My name is Alicia, and today we're going to be talking about the top 10 must-know vocabulary for restaurants. So, let's eat. Waiter. The first word is waiter. Waiter or waitress or waitstaff. These are the people who bring you your food and take your orders. In a sentence, your waiter will be with you in a moment. Menu. The next word is menu. Menu is the piece of paper or the document, the thing that's on your table or near your table that has a description of all the food you can eat at that restaurant. In a sentence, can I have the menu, please? Order. The next word is order. Order, you can use this as a noun or as a verb. You can say to order something or where is my order? In a sentence, I would like to order 2 steaks, 3 hamburgers, 4 beers, a large pizza, and a piece of chocolate cake to go to my home. Water. The next word is water. In American restaurants, you usually get water for free. I noticed when I traveled in Europe, you had to pay for water at restaurants. That was interesting. In a sentence, American restaurants usually give you a glass of water without having to ask. Dessert. The next word is dessert. Dessert is the sweet stuff, the sweet course, all the sweet foods that come after the main part of the meal. In a sentence, can we see the dessert menu? Chef. Chef. Chef is the leader of the kitchen, the person that is cooking the food. In fancy restaurants, the chef is like the one who is running the operation, the manager of everything. There are different levels of chef in the kitchen. In a sentence, you can say, please give my compliments to the chef. Fast food. The next word is fast food. Fast food is anything that's quick. Popular examples in America are McDonald's, Burger King, Subway, Taco Bell, Kentucky Fried Chicken, Jack in the Box. So those are all fast food restaurants. You get in and you get out very, very quickly. They don't have a reputation for being very healthy. In a sentence, I try to eat fast food as rarely as possible. Bill. The next word is bill. You might also hear check. Bill and check mean the total of your meal. How much your dining experience cost you is the bill or the check. A bill comes before you have paid. A receipt is the piece of paper you get after you have paid. The receipt confirms you have paid money. The bill is the request for money. That's the difference between bill or check and receipt. In a sentence, usually you say, can I have the bill, please? Or can I have the check, please? Delicious. Delicious. Delicious means something that tastes good. We have many variations on delicious. We say delicious, good, yum, yummy, fantastic, great, and so on. It's kind of strange to me to say this is delicious. I usually just say this is good or this is really good. Something like that is a bit more natural than delicious. In a sentence, my dinner today was delicious. Main course. Main course. It's often like a meat dish, actually, like roast something or I don't know. It's also called the entree. Maybe it's a really fancy pasta dish in some cases. I don't know. In a sentence, for the main course, our specials are chicken and zucchini and curry. That's the end. So those are 10 words that you can use in a restaurant. I think they're very useful when traveling, actually. So try to keep them in mind the next time you go out to eat. If you haven't already, please be sure to like and subscribe to our channel. And if you like, also, please check us out at EnglishClass101.com for more fun stuff. Thanks very much. Bye.
Want to speak real English from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at EnglishClass101.com.
Hi everyone, I'm Bridget and welcome to today's lesson. Today's topic is 10 ways to say hello in English. Good morning. Good morning is the first thing you say to someone when you see them in the morning. Good morning, sir. Would you like a cup of coffee? Good morning. Could I please get some orange juice? Good morning. I'm still tired from the night before. Hello. Hello is the most common greeting you'll hear, that and hi. Hello is a polite, nice way to greet someone when you see them. Hello. Everyone says it. You cannot go wrong saying hello. Hello can be used at any time of the day, no matter whether it's morning or at night or at 4 a.m. When you see someone, you can say hello and it will still be appropriate. Long time no see. Long time no see. It's not necessarily grammatically correct, but it's a saying that we have. Hey, long time no see. What it means is that you haven't seen that person in a long time. So it literally means long time no see. Long time no see is something you say to someone when you haven't seen them in a while. Hey, John. Long time no see. How are the wife and kids? How have you been? Hey, how have you been? I haven't seen you in a long time. How have you been is asking someone how they're doing and how they've been for the past however long if you haven't seen them in a while. You might say, hey, long time no see. How have you been? How have you been? That's past tense. It implies that you haven't seen them in a while and you want to hear about how they are and how they've been for all of that time that you haven't seen them. Hey, long time no see. How have you been? How are you? How are you means how are you doing? How are you feeling? How is everything? It's a standard thing that you might say to anyone, even if you've seen them the day before. You might see them today and say, hey, how are you? How's it going? Hey, how's it going? How's it going is a more informal way to say, how are you? So, how are you and how's it going, they mean the same thing. It's asking how you are doing, how you are feeling. Is everything okay with you? What's up? What's up is another way of saying, hey, how's it going? But this one is even more informal. So you might say this to friends. Hey, what's up? And they'll say, nothing. Just living my life, day in and day out. Hey, what's up? Hey, what's up? Good afternoon. Good afternoon. How are you? Would you like some lunch? Good afternoon is a polite way to greet someone in the afternoon. So if you run into your boss, you might say, good afternoon. It's very nice. It's polite. Not a lot of people say it to their friends, but it's a polite way to greet someone. Good evening. Good evening is a nice way to greet someone in the evening time. You can only use this phrase in the evening because it's wishing someone a good evening. It's saying hello at a certain time of day. Good evening. Would you like some dinner? Good evening. Have you eaten yet? All of my examples involve food, it seems. It's nice to meet you. It's nice to meet you. This is something that's very common to say the first time that you meet someone. You might shake their hand and say, hi, it's nice to meet you. My name is Bridget. My name is... It's telling that person that you are happy to be meeting them. It's a pleasure to meet them. Hi, it's nice to meet you. That brings us to the end of this lesson, 10 ways to say hello. If you guys liked the video, please don't forget to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. And don't forget to go to EnglishClass101.com for more English.
How are your English listening skills? First, you'll see an image and hear a question. Next comes a short dialogue. Listen carefully and see if you can answer correctly. We'll show you the answer at the end.
A man is looking for an apartment. Which apartment is he probably going to choose?
Hi there, I'm looking for an apartment. Could you show me some floor plans?
Sure thing. Will you be living alone?
No, I'm married, and we're looking for a one-bedroom apartment with a study.
Okay, how about this one? There are 2 rooms plus a living room. It's near a busy street though, so it might not be very quiet.
I see. I usually work at home, so I need a quiet place, and I'd prefer the living room to be square-shaped.
Well, how about this one? It's located a bit far from downtown, but it's in a quiet residential area. There are 2 rooms and a living room, but one of the rooms is a little small.
We don't have too much stuff, so this one might work for us.
We can show you another apartment with bigger rooms, but it's located further from downtown.
No, thank you. Let's have a look at the second one you showed me.
Which apartment is he probably going to choose? A man is looking for an apartment. Which apartment is he probably going to choose?
Hi there, I'm looking for an apartment. Could you show me some floor plans?
Sure thing. Will you be living alone?
No, I'm married, and we're looking for a one-bedroom apartment with a study.
Okay, how about this one? There are 2 rooms plus a living room. It's near a busy street though, so it might not be very quiet.
I see. I usually work at home, so I need a quiet place, and I'd prefer the living room to be square-shaped.
Well, how about this one? It's located a bit far from downtown, but it's in a quiet residential area. There are 2 rooms and a living room, but one of the rooms is a little small.
We don't have too much stuff, so this one might work for us.
We can show you another apartment with bigger rooms, but it's located further from downtown.
No, thank you. Let's have a look at the second one you showed me.
Want to speak real English from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at EnglishClass101.com.
Hi everybody, my name is Alicia and welcome back to Top Words. Today's topic is 10 lines you need for introducing yourself. So let's go. Hello, it's nice to meet you. Hello, it's nice to meet you. You can only use this the first time that you meet someone. If you say this to somebody after you have met them already, you're going to seem either A, like you've completely forgotten meeting them, or B, like you are a very strange person for saying it's nice to meet you again. So, when you use this the first time, you can shake hands with someone and say, hello, it's nice to meet you. My name is. The next phrase is, my name is blah, blah, blah. In my case, my name is Alicia. You can use this again when you're introducing yourself, or if you need to reintroduce yourself, you can use this pattern. When you meet somebody at a party, for example, you can say, my name is blah, blah, blah. My name is Barbara. My name is Stevens. You can shorten this. You can say, my name's blah, blah, blah. I'm from. After you've said your name, after you've shaken hands, you can say, I'm from the US, I'm from Japan, I'm from Turkey, I'm from your mom's house, I'm from, I'm from a cave in Southern Europe, I'm from your country, or I'm from your city. I'm from the future. Wow, wow. I have to go. I live in blah, blah, blah. You can use your city. You can use your country, you can use, even maybe if you live near a certain station, you can use the name of the station where you live. So for example, I live in America is fine. I live in Los Angeles is fine. I live in New York is fine. So your neighborhood is fine. If someone says, where do you live? And you say, I live in an apartment. It's like, what? So please use the region or the location where you live, not the type of place where you live. If you hear the question, what do you do? It's asking about your job. In English, people don't say, what is your job? That's not the question that we ask. Instead, the question is, what do you do? And the correct response to that is, I'm a, or I'm an, blah, 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 followed by your job title. So if someone says, what do you do? You can say, I'm a teacher. What do you do? I'm an engineer. What do you do? I'm a donut shop tester. I'm years old. When someone asks, how old are you? You can say, I'm blah, 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 years old. Don't forget the S at the end of this. If you like, you can shorten this phrase to just I'm plus your age. So I'm 65. I'm 13. Whatever. I'm this many. Sometimes children will say that. How old are you? They'll say, I'm this many. Kind of cute. First time you meet someone, you might not ask, how old are you? If it's in a friendly case, like in a party after you've spoken to the person a little bit, it's okay. But just try to be sensitive to the context. Try to be sensitive to the people around you. And if you sense that maybe there's a very large age gap between you, it might be better just not to ask the question at all. I enjoy. Many of my students say, what is your hobby? but that's not something that native speakers will say. No native speakers say, "What is your hobby?" Instead, we ask, what do you like to do? Or what do you do in your free time? This is a much more natural question than what's your hobby? The answer to this then is I enjoy or I like plus a noun phrase. So for example, what do you like to do? I like listening to music, or I enjoy listening to music. What do you do in your free time? I like watching movies. What do you do in your free time? I like baking cakes. What do you do in your free time? I enjoy tap dancing. What do you do in your free time? I enjoy making new friends. Aw. One of my hobbies is blah, blah, blah. With this one, it's probably better to use a short, easy to understand hobby. If you're explaining a hobby, people are going to expect that it's going to be something that they know about, like photography or cooking or dancing or swimming or whatever. So try to pick something that will allow you to continue the conversation. That's why movies or cooking or books or, sports are a good thing to share. One of my hobbies is snowboarding. I've been learning English for... If you are learning English, if you're studying English, you can use this expression. If someone asks you, how long have you been studying English? You can say, I've been studying English for amount of time. Or I've been learning English, or I've been practicing English, or I've been speaking English for a certain amount of time. I've been studying English since elementary school is also okay to use. I've been studying English since I was in college. Just be careful. For is used for a length of time, and since is used for a specific point in time at which you started something. So you can try and mix it up and use a few different expressions there. So I've been learning English for a long time. I'm still learning English. You should do that too. Okay. I'm learning English at EnglishClass101.com. This probably could be used in response to where did you learn English, or where are you studying English, or how are you studying English? You can respond with, I'm learning English at EnglishClass101.com, or I'm learning English at my school. I'm learning English at my private teacher's house, for example. So a little bit of grammar in this sentence. Why do we use the progressive tense, I'm learning English? If you say I'm learning, it sounds like you're still continuing your studies. If you say I learned English at EnglishClass101.com, it sounds like you're finished. Like you're finished studying, there's nothing else for you to study, so you're done. So it's much, much more natural to actually use the progressive I'm learning or I'm studying when you're talking about your studies, when you're talking about your hobbies, than it is to say I learned or I studied. So those were 10 lines that you need to introduce yourself and to help give the other person a little bit of information and carry the conversation forward. So please try them, please go crazy with them, make them your own. Thanks very much for joining us for this episode of Top Words, and we'll see you again soon. Bye! I'm from your neighbor's doghouse. Fish. Glub, glub. Oh yes, I like to go spelunking in North Africa. Hi everybody, welcome back to Top Words. My name is Alicia, and today we're going to be talking about 10 different phrases that you can use to respond to the question, how are you? So let's go. I'm great. The first phrase is, I'm great. If someone says, how are you? You can say, I'm great. Try to say, I'm great with a kind of an upbeat voice. So something like, how are you? I'm great. I'm feeling bad. I'm feeling bad. If you say, I'm feeling bad, the other person is probably, if they're a friend of yours or a coworker, going to ask you, why? What happened? So if you want to use, I'm feeling bad, make sure you have an explanation ready. Anyway, somebody says, how are you? And you go, I'm feeling bad. Maybe I went out for drinks last night with my coworkers. Oops. I'm okay. I'm okay. I feel like this is one of those intonation practice ones. I'm okay with that, I'm okay. It's like sort of upward intonation. You're like, cool. But if someone says, how are you? And you're like, I'm okay. They're like, oh no. What happened? So you can use your intonation with I'm okay to make it a good thing or a not so good thing. But either way, it's not like a very super serious response. Thank you for asking. Yeah. I imagine this would be in a more formal situation. Like if my friend said to me, how are you? And I was like, thank you for asking. They'd be like, what? I would say I'm fine or I'm doing well, I'm doing great, plus thank you for asking. So I have to say, how are you? Oh, I'm doing very well, thank you. Oh, that's how I would use it. And you? The next one is and you. Like the least natural response to how are you is I'm fine, thank you, and you. Like just just take it out of your head. Nobody says that. I always say how about you. That's a much more natural thing. How are you? How are you? How are you can be a response, again, after you have given your answer to the question. How are you? I'm great. How are you? How are you? I'm good. How are you? I'm great. How are you? I'm okay. How are you? How have you been recently? How have you been recently? This is only useful if you haven't seen the other person for a while. I'm not bad. I'm not bad. I'm not bad. How are you? I'm not bad. No, I'm not bad. Things could be worse. I would probably do this. I'm sleepy. The next expression is I'm sleepy. Hey, it's like so specific. If someone said, how are you? I would probably say, I'm okay, but I'm a little sleepy. I don't know that I would just say I'm sleepy, unless it's a really good friend of mine. It's a person close to you. You can say, I'm so tired. I would say I'm super tired or I'm really tired. And I feel like that's a little bit more natural than just I'm sleepy. I'm good. One that I use a lot, if someone says, how are you? I say, I'm good. That's just probably my go-to response. Yeah, I'm good, I'm good. Maybe I'll repeat it while smiling. I'm good, I'm good. Yeah, thanks for asking. Great. How are you? That is the end. Those are 10 phrases that you can use to respond to the question, how are you? If there's one takeaway from this and from other things that we've done over the last few years on this channel, just get rid of that I'm fine, thank you, and you, and pick one of these that we've talked about today. Of course, if there's another expression that you use for a response to how are you, I'd be very interested to learn about that. But in general, you're pretty safe if you stick with these, I think. So thanks very much for watching this episode of Top Words, and we will see you again soon. Bye. Nice.
Hi everyone, I'm Bridget and welcome to today's lesson. The topic for this lesson is 10 phrases to survive at the station. Let's get started. I'd like to go to. I'd like to go to. I'd like to go to this hotel. When you tell someone, I'd like to go to this town, the person selling you a ticket will be able to tell you which train you need to take to get there. I'd like to go to means this is the destination I want. How do I get there? Is this the right platform for... Is this the right platform for... Is this the right platform for the train to Greenwich? A platform is where you wait for a train to pull up. So if you're on a platform and you aren't sure if you're on the right one for the train you need, you might ask someone else who's standing there, excuse me, is this the right platform for the train to Greenwich? And they will tell you if you're in the right place. What time is the last train? What time is the last train to San Francisco? You might ask someone, what time is the last train? Depending on which city you're in, the last train of a day might be at maybe 10 p.m., for example. You're going to want to make sure you get to the station to get that last train. Where do I change for? Where do I change for? Where do I change for the express train? When you're taking a train, sometimes you might need to do a transfer at a particular station. This means if you're on one train, you might have to get off at a certain train station and wait for another train that'll take you all the rest of the way to where you need to go. Asking, where do I change for the express train? You're asking, at what station do I need to get out off the train and wait for the correct train? Where can I buy a ticket? Where can I buy a ticket? Where can I buy a ticket in town? You should ask where to buy a ticket so you know whether you need to purchase your ticket on the train itself or if you need to go up to a kiosk and buy your ticket there. It's always important to know ahead of time where to buy your ticket because you don't want to get on a train and find out you were supposed to buy your ticket at the station. How much is it to the airport?
You might ask this question to find out how much it costs to take a train or a bus or a taxi to where you need to go. If you get into a taxi, for example, and you ask, how much is it to the airport? The taxi driver will tell you $30. He'll tell you the price you need to pay to get to the airport. If you're taking a train, you might ask the ticket seller, how much is it to the airport? And the ticket seller will tell you the train to the airport costs $10, for example. That way you know how much it costs to go to where you need to be. Does this bus go to? Does this bus go to? Does this bus go to the suburbs? Does this bus go to is a way of asking whether or not the bus that you're looking at has the destination that you need. So you might get on the bus and ask the bus driver, does this bus go to the suburbs, whatever destination? And the bus driver will answer and tell you, yes, get on, or no, you want a different bus. What time is the next bus? What time is the next bus? What time will the next bus arrive? By asking what time is the next bus, you're asking when the bus is going to come to the bus stop or whatever station the bus will stop at. This way you know what time you need to be at that bus stop. The train is running late. The train is running late. The train is running late again. This is something I say all the time in New York City. The train is running late. If the train is running late, that means you will probably be running late when you get off the train. Where are the ticket machines? Where are the ticket machines? Where are the ticket machines in this station? A ticket machine is a machine that you go to purchase your tickets. You might see this in any station, whether it's a subway station or a regular train station, or sometimes even a bus station. There will be kiosks that you can go to enter the information and purchase your ticket. That brings us to the end of today's lesson. 10 phrases to survive at the station. How often do you need to take public transportation? And how often do you rely on phrases like these? Please leave a comment below and give us a thumbs up if you like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and of course, don't forget to go to EnglishClass101.com to learn more English. You might ask, ah! Oh no, there's a spider. That was a bug. You've studied for a while and are ready to talk to people and practice what you've learned. But where do you start? Starting a conversation in a new language can seem a bit intimidating. How do you just jump into it? In this video, we'll look at 5 ways to start conversations. Number 1, introduce yourself in your target language. This is usually one of the first things you learn when you start studying a new language. And sometimes starting a conversation, or continuing one, is as simple as introducing yourself. Number 2, talking about the weather. This is a universal talking point. People talk about the weather all over the world. And just saying, it's really nice today, is enough to start a conversation. A great way to practice your weather conversation skills is to check out our Can-Do lesson pathway. This series of lessons teaches you how to talk about the weather in your target language. Number 3, give compliments. Compliments are a great way to start a conversation. You can compliment something about your conversation partner's city, country, or something specific to them personally. Hey, your bag is super cute, or that ice cream looks delicious. These kinds of compliments can lead to further conversation about what you complimented. In this case, it could be fashion or a local restaurant. This is a great way to make quick connections with people. Number 4, ask for help. For example, you can ask for directions, ask about prices, or request recommendations for restaurants or shopping spots, and let the conversation go from there. People are usually happy to lend a helping hand to tourists who are visiting their city. Number 5, learn phrases for transactions. This can include getting a room at a hotel, or telling a taxi driver where to go. When you're traveling overseas, you'll need to talk to other people in your target language. And while this might be a bit scary at first, you'll find that the people you meet are just happy that you're trying to communicate with them. So get started talking in your target language now. For even more tips on how to start conversations, check out our complete language learning program. Sign up for your free lifetime account by clicking on the link in the description. Get tons of resources to have you speaking in your target language. And if you enjoyed these tips, hit the like button, share the video with anyone who's trying to learn a new language, and subscribe to our channel. We release new videos every week. I'll see you next time. Bye! Great work! Here's a reward. Speed up your language learning with our PDF lessons. Get all of our best PDF cheat sheets and ebooks for free. Just click the link in the description.